It's happening again. New travel bans, rising Islamophobia, and policies that seem to specifically target Muslims. But is this really about national security, or is there something deeper at play? From controversial travel restrictions to the detainment of Muslim scholars, Trump's latest moves have sparked outrage and fear. Are these just political decisions, or is there a larger agenda unfolding? In this video, we'll break down the latest policies, their real impact on Muslim communities, and why this issue matters now more than ever. Make sure to watch until the end, and don't forget to like this video. The Trump administration is reportedly finalizing a new travel ban that could bar or severely restrict entry for citizens from over 40 countries. If implemented, this would be one of the largest immigration bans in U.S. history. On January 20th, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order directing key government agencies to recommend countries for suspension within 60 days. While the White House hasn't made an official statement, leaked reports suggest that up to 43 countries could be impacted. This proposed ban, often referred to as the Trump 2.0 travel ban, is seen as an expansion of his 2017 travel ban, which primarily targeted Muslim-majority countries like Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. Trump's 2017 travel ban was widely criticized as a Muslim ban in disguise. It faced legal battles, public outrage, and was even struck down in lower courts before being upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2018. Now, his new policy seems to be taking it even further. A leaked administration memo suggests that this ban isn't just about national security. It's a continuation of Trump's anti-Muslim immigration policies. Many of the newly targeted countries are predominantly Muslim or African nations, raising serious concerns about discrimination and Islamophobia. The proposed ban classifies countries into 3 levels of restrictions. First, the red list. Countries in this category are completely banned with no exceptions. Next, the orange list. These countries face high scrutiny, meaning approvals are rare and heavily regulated. And finally, the yellow list. These countries are at risk of being banned soon, depending on future assessments. This ban isn't just a political move. It has real consequences for millions of people. Families will be separated. Students and workers could lose their visas. U.S. businesses may struggle to hire international talent. Muslims and immigrants worldwide face increased scrutiny and discrimination. Critics argue that this policy is not about national security, but about fueling fear and division against Muslim-majority nations. Take the case of Badar Khan Suri, an Indian scholar studying at Georgetown University. Despite holding a valid student visa and being married to a U.S. citizen, he was suddenly detained by the Trump administration, accused, without evidence, of having ties to Hamas. The Department of Homeland Security claimed that Suri had spread Hamas propaganda on social media, yet no proof was provided. Suri's arrest is part of a broader crackdown. The Trump administration has been targeting individuals who participated in pro-Palestinian protests against Israel's military actions in Gaza. Another student, Mahmoud Khalil from Columbia University, was also detained and is now fighting his deportation. What's troubling is that these arrests appear politically motivated. Suri, a peace and conflict studies scholar, was teaching a course on majoritarianism and minority rights in South Asia, a topic that hardly suggests any security threat. His wife, a journalist and writer from Gaza, has also been vocal about Palestinian issues. Is this crackdown truly about security, or is it about silencing dissent? Georgetown University has stated that it received no official reason for Suri's detention and is unaware of any illegal activity on his part. His lawyer, along with civil rights groups, sees this as an attempt to suppress pro-Palestinian voices. And with Trump's history of targeting Muslims through policy and rhetoric, it raises serious concerns about whether this is a step toward criminalizing political views. This isn't just about travel bans anymore. This is about silencing individuals, restricting freedom of speech, and using national security as an excuse to push a political agenda. The language of Trump's new executive order is deliberately vague, allowing government agencies broad discretion to target individuals based on ideology rather than legitimate security threats. Legal experts warn that this decree could be used to justify surveillance, deportations, and visa denials for individuals who merely express dissenting views, especially those advocating for Palestinian rights. Deepa Alagason from the International Refugee Assistance Project calls it bigger and worse than Trump's original travel ban. Unlike before, this policy extends beyond keeping people out. It now actively seeks to remove individuals already living in the U.S., tearing apart families and communities. And the administration isn't hiding its intentions. The executive order mandates the identification of foreign nationals who entered the U.S. since 2021, collecting data on their activities and recommending their deportation if they are deemed unassimilated or hostile to American culture. But here's the real concern. Who gets to define what hostile means? Who determines what constitutes a threat to American values? Consider this. The order explicitly calls for protecting Americans from those who preach or call for sectarian violence or advocate against U.S. culture. While that might sound reasonable on the surface, legal scholars like Mariam Jamshidi argue that this vague wording opens the door to targeting Palestinian activists, Muslim students, and foreign nationals who challenge U.S. foreign policy. We've already seen the groundwork for this crackdown. Pro-Israel politicians have equated Palestinian solidarity protests with support for terrorism, and figures like Secretary of State Marco Rubio have called for deporting international students who criticize Israel. This order provides the legal mechanism to make that happen. In 2023, Rubio led a Senate letter demanding the removal of international students who participated in Palestinian solidarity protests, even comparing them to the 9/11 attackers. This wasn't just political rhetoric. It was a clear warning of the direction the right-wing establishment was headed. Now, with Trump's new order, that warning is becoming policy. And it's not just about immigration. This decree signals a larger ideological shift, one that redefines who gets to be considered American. It demands proper assimilation of immigrants and the promotion of a unified American identity. But let's be real, these are dog whistles. They're coded language meant to reinforce the idea that only certain groups, white, Christian, and politically aligned with the right, truly belong in the U.S. Dima Khalidi, director of Palestine Legal, says this order isn't just about security. It's about forcing ideological conformity. It's about telling people what they can and can't believe, who they can and can't support. In short, it's about control. In recent weeks, Netanyahu has ramped up military operations, dismissing international calls for restraint. And rather than stepping in to de-escalate the situation, Trump has doubled down on his support, blocking UN resolutions that call for a ceasefire and increasing military aid to Israel. Human rights organizations have called this a war of extermination, not defense. The Israeli government has openly stated that its goal is to change the reality in Gaza, code for mass displacement. Meanwhile, Trump's administration continues to provide diplomatic cover, ensuring that Israel faces no real consequences for its actions. The hypocrisy is staggering. Just months ago, Trump claimed he was bringing peace to the Middle East. Now, his administration is fueling one of the deadliest assaults in Gaza's history, while pushing a narrative that places all blame on the victims. The world is watching, but are we truly listening? This isn't just about politics or borders. It's about justice, humanity, and the rights of our Muslim brothers and sisters. As this crisis unfolds, we must stand together, raise our voices, and support those who are suffering. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How can we, as an ummah, make a difference? And if you found this video important, don't forget to share to help spread awareness. May Allah grant justice to the oppressed and strengthen our unity. Stay aware, stay strong.